So I want to try to clarify a little bit what I was getting at in my last video when I said that I'm far more interested in the consequences of religious belief than I am in the sort of representational validity or the correlation of religious ideas to actual reality. I think when people profess belief in or participate in rituals as though things like the resurrection of Jesus or the omnipresence of Buddha nature, when people participate in these sorts of ritualized ideas, I'm curious and more interested in how these practices transform them as individuals, how they change their behaviors, not only as individuals but as members of a society. How do religious ideas influence the way we go about our daily lives? And I want to sort of ontologize this in a way so that I'm not just a pragmatist here on the human level in terms of the relativity of our knowledge of what's real or what's not real. I want to say that this sort of constructivism that's clearly operative at the human level, where it's not so much a matter of whether or not our beliefs are true, but whether or not they lead to the right kind of outcomes. That's what determines the effectiveness or the survivability of an idea. But I want to also say that biologically, and not just in terms of human societies and human psychology, biologically, there's something to this kind of constructivism where as soon as you have, sexually reproducing organisms, all of a sudden desire comes into play. The desire of animals comes into play, where, if female peacocks desire larger plumes on the male, then over a series of generations, that's what is going to happen. The actual physical phenotype of the male is going to change. So this is an example of desire or, wishful thinking having an effect on reality and actually changing reality over the course of evolutionary time. So when you consider sexual selection alongside natural selection, it's no longer just the survival of the fittest and survival of the strongest, but survival of the sexiest. So desire becomes a form of selective pressure upon the evolution of life, right? Now, in the human realm, I think this process of sexual selection sort of gets transferred into the rhetorical sphere because, humans are the language-using, language-possessing, or language-possessed animal. And so it's with our rhetoric that we, establish attraction to different kinds of people, different kinds of worlds and realities. And, in this sense, the kinds of worlds that we make possible with our speech, the worlds that we construct with our speech can become realities, can become actualized if enough people believe them, right? So this is, I think, leading us in a more interesting direction, both sociologically and ontologically, about what the nature of reality is, where desire and belief have an influence over it.